Let's talk about that right meow. I know. I literally just made a video not even a week ago about how I was so lost and my golf game was nowhere to be found and I was feeling so down and depressed about my ability to hit a golf ball. And then I'm literally making a video approximately 2 or 3 days after I made that video about me winning a tournament. I actually wanted to take this time to make this video because it's not gonna be me bragging about how amazing I did in the tournament. It was actually a very scrappy wind. Southern Dunes is a link style course out here in Arizona, and the wind conditions, as always on that course, picked up to 15, 20 mile an hour winds, and it was very tough to keep the ball in play for everybody out in the field. And it was a very scrappy win for me that included a lot of doubles and even some lost balls. But I think I learned a lot of valuable things just going into this tournament this weekend, kind of where my mind was at. And I wanted to take some time to reflect on that and obviously talk to you down that lens and give you a thought process on the idea of winning doesn't always require perfection, and sometimes winning ugly is really what it takes. That felt good. The reason I say I wasn't like initially excited about the win, as arrogant and as silly as that may sound, is because I didn't play very well at all. And it was just a very tough day. But like looking back in hindsight, that's a very amateur and a very, childish way to look at it. At the end of the day, like I went out there, I played the best golf I could, and I happened to be the person that got the ball in the hole the quickest. And I should be happy at that no matter what the circumstances were, whether it was, making a bogey or a double bogey in the last coming hole stretch, or if I'd made a 4-putt to win. At the end of the day, it's like the game is get the ball in the hole as quickly as possible. And that's some of the stuff that I think I lose sight of when I get so fixated on golf swing and things like that. I think, talking back earlier about the tournament and the stuff that I was learning is just like, I felt like I did so poorly in that tournament, but in all actuality, I didn't, right? It's just very tough to score in conditions like this. Like, I just hit a drive, and this drive and I tagged it, it maybe went 200 yards, and it's just, when the conditions are going like this, you just really got to bunker down and just take what the course will give you. So 126, like with this kind of wind, it's probably playing at least 137, 138. Pitching wedge is gonna balloon too much. I'm gonna hit a 9-iron. Be the club. Oh, that was actually a pretty decent shot. So as you can see, I hit this one probably 20 feet. Clearly, I've been getting adjusted to playing in these wind conditions. And I think one of the bigger things that I learned from this tournament is I'm starting to be comfortable with the adversity of embracing challenges. Showing up to the tournament and expecting to just have my A game is not a recipe for, success. Like, what do they say? Expectation is the mother of all disappointments, or whatever the case may be. Right here, I had 126 yards into a green on a day where there's no wind. I'd probably be definitely expecting to make this close, but, 20 mile an hour wind, I'm just happy to have this bad boy inside of 20 feet. Hell, happy to just have it on the green. Clean that up for a nice par. I felt like one of the reasons that I wasn't like as excited about the win, and one of the reasons that I was like, I don't want to say embarrassed, but I wasn't feeling as good about it, was because like I shot an 83, which isn't like the most impressive sounding score. Like, you never want to be like, oh, I won a tournament, I shot an 83. But now looking back on it, like in the conditions like this, like that was as best as I could shoot that day. And sometimes winning ugly, still winning. And another thing about the tournament is, like, I know I came out here literally the week before and I made the video and I was just like, oh, my game is lost and woe is me and I'll never find myself. I didn't say never find myself, but I was just so like frustrated at not being able to score well. And I think the only thing I could go into that tournament with was just being committed to my shots. And sometimes that's all that you really need. It's like, I wasn't walking in with, air in my head and a chip on my shoulders. I literally walked into that tournament, Kenny Cat with my tail between my legs, and just did what I could do. I committed to all the shots. I picked smart targets, and I just kind of let what the course gave me and took what the course gave me. Made a lot of decent pars out there, but really struggled and made a lot of unfortunate doubles. But ultimately, it was enough, to get it done. So that's a scrappy shot, but that's gonna work. Scoot up there. And it's also like embracing that was a very terribly hit shot, but it's on the green. So another thing that Kurt gave me was this 2-ball putter from Callaway, I think, or Odyssey. Who makes this? Odyssey. And it just helps me see a little bit more straight and set the putter up straight. And this thing really gave me a lot of clutch putts inside of 5 feet. I don't think I missed a single putt inside of 5 feet, or a putt from 5 to 6 feet that entire tournament. I didn't go hard enough. Oh. I knew going into the back nine, which was the front nine, I knew I was in a pretty good position, right? I was like, I just got to make pars and just get on. I was 4 over. I was in pretty good spot, but then it just started unraveling, right? The wind picked up. Everything just kind of went to poop, and it was just very tough. I think it gave me a perspective to really understand that although I'd love to go out and win tournaments 7 shots ahead of the lead like I did my last one with a 74 and just absolutely blitz a course, hit like all these greens, that's just not realistic, right? I think out of all the wins that I've had thus far, this is my most proud moment because I normally go into tournaments hoping to have my best game. I normally go into tournaments being as prepared as possible, feeling, on cloud 9, body's great, everything's good. In this tournament, I had none of that. I wasn't feeling good about my swing. I wasn't feeling good about my ball control. I wasn't feeling good about my putting. I wasn't feeling good about a single part of my game. This is something that you down that lens could definitely resonate with. You don't have to have your best swing. You don't have to have utmost confidence that you can go out there and play good golf. You just got to be truly committed to hitting the shot that you see and accepting the outcome. You're supposed to hit bad shots. You're going to continually hit bad shots. Like, that's golf. We're just going to keep practicing and keep working to get better results and get better at my swing. And hopefully over time, we'll be able to get closer and closer to continuing to lower our score and hopefully winning more tournaments and getting on to play bigger and better tournaments.